Alright everyone, this is part 2. If you'd like to see part 1, please click on the playlist in the description below. How about we read this article that came out a few weeks ago? 100 easy ways to make the world better for trans people. Number 11. Never ask anything about our genitalia or body. So, do you still have everything down there as a puzzled hand flutters near our private part? Is never going to be okay, and that is final. Do you know what? I've never heard of anyone ever doing this in real life. This is total fantasy. But nobody ever points at your bits and says, have you still got it all down there? What's it like? Is it a bit... Nobody does that. Number 12. Oh, let's not forget that we do not all know each other. The queer community is bigger than you think. Well, yeah, it's going to be massive because queer doesn't mean anything. You just say you are and then you are, right? Let's refer to rule number 1. Number 1. If someone tells you how they identify, you have no say on the matter. Use the pronoun they use. Use them! If anybody can say they're queer, then anybody and everybody is queer. If you look at the trans umbrella, it includes everyone. Everyone is trans. So of course it's a big community. Weirdos. Number 13. Try to refrain from using language that is heavily influenced or derived from queer culture if this is not your community. Words and phrases are a way of communication in code for a large majority of the queer community. Like reading, language creates a dialogue within the queer community that is meant to protect and ensure safety. Because these overprivileged middle class kids living in England have to worry about their safety. So we're not allowed to not use their language. We have to use some of their language because we have to play the game of pronouns. We're not allowed to use their language without permission because it's their language that they need to protect their community because, you know, they're being genocided in the most fascist country in the world, in England. I hear it all the time. I'd say I hear it. I read it all the time. Online, people shouting at me about how I don't care enough about the genocide that's happening to trans people. You're right, I don't care because it's not happening. So yeah, I think it's really interesting how they're trying to pull this cultural appropriation shit on us. You know, like, do not culturally appropriate the queer community, do not use our language. But at the same time, if you refer to like the first 6 rules, it's all about making sure we use their language and comply with their speech. Oh my God! Have you seen the picture of Kai Isaiah Jamal? She looks every bit as smug and privileged as she actually sounds like. Look at her. Look at that face. She ain't had a hard day in her entire life. Not compared to me. I look like I've had it rough. Are you wondering what to buy this Christmas? Do you want to commit the best hate crime ever? Well, the good news is my art allegedly causes real life harm. My stickers have allegedly murdered millions of people, and they are notoriously difficult to peel off. One councillor in Norfolk claimed there were razor blades under them. He was lying, but that's still a fun story. My t-shirts are allegedly appropriating non-binary culture, just like my mugs. If this is interesting to you and you would like a chance to potentially be arrested for hate crimes inside your own home next year, then I have just the thing for you. I have a brand new calendar available for 2024, which means you can have an artistic hate crime in your own home for every month of the year. How amazing is that? If you are an evil bigot with hate in your heart, then my art is here. The famous artist, BirdieRose.com. The famous artist, BirdieRose.com. This is my favourite one. Okay, number 14. Do not enter queer or trans safe spaces without a queer person asking you to be there or without making sure that the allies are welcome. This is so hypocritical in the face of the fact that all women want is for men to not be allowed into women's spaces, which for all of my life at least, that has been the case. And now all of a sudden, not only are these weirdos campaigning for men to be allowed in women's spaces and girls' spaces, but they're telling us we're not allowed in their spaces. I don't even know what a queer space is, and that we have to have permission, and that allies have to be there, and that we have to pledge our allegiance to them in order to be an ally, in order to be welcome in. How come you're allowed that, but women are not allowed to say no to men? Amazing. Number 15, this is such 2016 vibe. When you are in queer spaces, repeat, this is not my space. I will not fill it, and actually do what you say. Women, all they want is for men not to be in our spaces. And we're being told, no, that's ridiculous, that's bigoted, you're out of order, you're hateful, you're a Nazi, you're fascist. Yet these weirdos are saying when we enter a space where they might be, we have to say to ourselves, this is not my space, I shall not fill it. I'll just hide. I'll just make sure no one can see me. I'll make sure I'm not oppressing anyone with my face. Stupidest thing I've ever heard. This is the most narcissistic, entitled, privileged article ever. And I love it. I love it. This is amazing. This is my favourite thing ever. This is like reading the diary of a psychopath. Number 16. I love it. Beware of your hands. Do not touch people without consent in all spaces, and especially queer spaces, and especially avoid touching trans people who are often triggered by physical contact involving parts of their body. It's like everybody's just going around touching each other like this. Shut up, get over yourself. We live in England. Nobody fucking touches anybody. Well, not where I come from, not in Essex. You don't go up to people touching them. It's weird. Maybe in some parts of the country, maybe in Somerset, everyone's going, hello. I can't do a Somerset accent. Is that racist? Number 17. If you are called out for being offensive, do not argue. This is not a debate. Apologise. Take a moment to reflect. If necessary, leave or give the space over to those you have offended or upset. It's actually incredible how entitled this is. Don't forget, these people have no sense of humour. You're not allowed to do no jokes. Fun is not allowed. They're also speaking in some sort of coded language to protect themselves, but you're not allowed to join in by using that language. But when you do speak, you have to speak the way they want you to speak. I don't know why I'm doing this. That's not sign language. That's just me being weird. So you have to speak the way they want you to speak. And if they tell you that you have offended one of them, which, by the way, I think if somebody is offended, that's their problem, not yours, right? Offence is taken, not given. So if they tell you they're offended, don't argue with it. Just nod and apologise, and then remove yourself so that somebody more worthy can replace you, because you are so disposable to them. It's a disgusting way to treat people. I can't imagine why or how any of these people have got any friends. Not that I can talk, because I don't have any friends anymore, because I got cancelled for being a disgusting bigot. But bloody hell, I'd rather not have any friends than have friends like this. That's not true, actually. I've got Justin. He's my little friend. So it's not all bad being a cancelled bigot. Number 18. Never try to argue with a trans person that something isn't transphobic. So the trans people are wholly sort of like in charge of everything. They get to decide what's transphobic and what's not. You can't say, for example, oh yeah, I went to see my mum the other day and she was breastfeeding her new baby. And they go, what? How dare you say mother? How dare you say breastfeeding? That's transphobic! And you go, I don't know. You're not allowed to debate me. You're supposed to apologise and then leave. Can you imagine trying to have a conversation with somebody like this? This is insane. It is weird. Number 19. Remind us that being trans isn't a burden or a bad thing. This sounds like something you should go to your therapist for. I mean, I'm not here to validate you and look after your feelings feelings and remind you that what you're doing isn't bad, it's really good, well done. That's not what I'm here for, mate. If you're in my friend circle, like I said, I don't have any friends. Well, if I had a friend circle and you were in it, I would tell you the truth, which is probably why I don't have any friends. Justin likes me though, don't you, Just? Oi! God, he's ignoring me again. He's giving me the silent treatment because I said he looks like a lesbian. Okay, number 20. Recognise the strength and power of your voice. What does that mean? Is that another way of saying be careful what you say? Oh, I've had enough. I don't understand what that one actually means. I think it makes more sense if you read number 21 with it. Now use it. So dramatic. So over the top. Recognise the strength and power of your voice. Now use it. For what? It's not my job to make the world a better place for trans people anyway. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear the next 20 within the next day or two, because I will be more than happy to film it. And I'll actually brush my hair next time. My hair's in my hoodie because I went to the gym and I'm a bit sweaty. So I don't know why I've done this. Don't I look weird when I'm just ahead? I'll see you later.
Early in the morning, as the sun comes up, I just wanna have a cup. There's one drink, that's the one for me. Won't you please make me a cup of tea?
It's so good.